All right, guys, how's it going? In this video, we're going to be talking about Luis Diaz. We were going to be talking about Luis Diaz today because there was a couple of things that came up in the Spanish media today. But since then, since I've got my ass down here, back from the cafe, I was going to talk to you about Alexis McAllister from Real Madrid first. But while I've been sat here getting ready, something's come out from Paul Joyce regarding Luis Diaz. So I'm going to try and put everything into one video. So before we get into the Paul Joyce article, this morning when I was in the cafe, I review all the Spanish football dailies for you. So this morning in Sport, which is a pro-Barcelona publication, because you've got to know that for the propaganda and stuff, right? And it's the closest one to Deco, who is the sporting director at Barcelona, and also Laporta, the president, if you like, at Barcelona. This is the best one for Barcelona coverage. They have this article in there today. I was going to go over that with you, right? So that, again, they're mentioning him again, right? And also Mundo Deportivo, which is another pro-Barcelona publication, they are also talking about him today. So as you can see, the two Barcelona newspapers are talking about Luis Diaz. So I'm thinking to myself, right, I'm going to go on, come on here, and I'll tell you guys what's been said and all that. Nothing major in these articles, to be honest with you. And I'm just sat here getting ready to do my shit and that. And then Paul Joyce puts something out. He publishes something. And it's really, really good because it shows you both sides of things. Now, listen. Remember what I've been saying to you the last few weeks. I expect Liverpool to deny or to make out that Luis Diaz is not for sale, right? I categorically said that. I did say I expected it to come more so from the clique of journalists, the Liverpool FC clique of journalists, the ones below Ornstein and Joyce, right? And that might still happen because this has only just come out and they might be doing their little articles now or whatever, right? But Joyce is the one we pay attention to. So I'm not surprised by this, right? Because if you're a Luis Diaz fan, you might read this from Paul Joyce now and go, oh, look, they're denying it. But I said to you, I think it's going to come out. And it has, right? So the article by Joyce is headlined as follows. Liverpool not looking to sell Luis Diaz despite Saudi speculation. And I think Liverpool want to amplify this. Oh, there's interest from Saudi because that'll help with the valuation with Barcelona, right? Colombia forward has also been linked with Barcelona, but the Premier League champions said they have received no expressions of interest in the 28-year-old. Barcelona can't express any interest in him because they don't know if they can do the deal, right? Because of the financial limitations. They're on the 1-4 rule in Spain, right? I won't go over it all again. If you watch my videos, you know what that means, right? It means they need a shitload more money than if they were on the 1-1 rule. The 1-1 status they haven't got at the moment. The 1-1 status is basically for every euro you spend, you've got to have a euro back in the club somehow, however. Do you know what I mean? The 1-4 means you need to get a lot more fucking money in if you were to go for Luis Diaz. And they can't do that at the moment. But that rule is reviewed, their status is reviewed at the end of June, right? So basically, what they're saying out here is that he has to sit tight until the summer, until Barcelona hopefully get their shit in order, which I think they will, to be honest, right? So don't expect him to be signing a new contract with Liverpool anytime soon, or to be agreeing to move to Saudi. He's going to sit tight and he's going to wait, right? So let's continue with the article. I can't read it all to you, but one thing I will say is an article behind the paywall at the Times, the Athletic, the Mail. I was told by my friend, if you get the link to it, if it's behind a paywall, and go to a website called archive.ph, the second box down, paste the entire link in and it should open it up. That's what I was told. Maybe not when it's first being published, but later in the day, all right? Or after a while. Now, I don't know if it's behind a paywall or not because I do pay for the Times and maybe I'm automatically logged in. So, Paul Joyce starts the article as follows. Liverpool have received no expressions of interest in Luis Diaz and are not actively looking to sell the Colombia forward. That's a message to Barcelona. For the second successive summer, the future of Diaz 28 has been the subject of fierce speculation. I don't know if it's fierce speculation. It's ongoing speculation, in my opinion. With the Saudi Pro League side, Al Nasr, who were purported to be ready to pay up to 85 million euros, 71.5 million pounds, for Diaz, and Barcelona linked with moves for him. A year ago, it was basically linked with Manchester City having a strong interest as well, he says. Liverpool are understood to be perplexed by the noise once again surrounding Diaz. That noise has never gone away, as you know, if you follow my channel. It's been there all since last summer, as you know. And then it goes on to say how he's became a valuable player for Arne Slot, tells you about his stats and that, and his versatility, blah, blah, blah. However, Liverpool have no plans to open talks with Diaz, who has 2 years left on his existing deal and will turn 29 midway through next season. That's a really confusing inclusion in that article. I don't know why they're saying that. Do you know what I mean? Luis Diaz, they claim Luis Diaz rejected a contract offer from Liverpool in November, and in January they said the same thing. But in January, I don't know if that was a second offer they'd rejected or whether they meant the one in November. Barcelona sporting director Deco has long admired Diaz, true, and wants to add depth to their squad. They basically talk about Yamal and Rafinha, first choices, considered Marcus Rashford. He's mentioned today, actually. Blah, blah, blah. And Rashford would be cheaper than Diaz, right? That's the article. Now, remember what I said, right? We're going to touch on these articles. So, in my opinion, for what it's worth, right? I said I said that this would happen, right? I said it would happen. He's saying there that he's been the centre of speculation for the second consecutive summer. That's because last summer Barcelona wanted to sign him. If you remember, right at the depth of the window, they were trying to get the money together, right? It wasn't to fund the bid. It was to satisfy the accounting, if you like, and they couldn't do it. They ran out of time, right? So last summer, these lot were saying, oh, he's not available, Liverpool don't want to sell him. That lot were all saying, Liverpool do want to sell him. They told us how much they want, right? And I believe this lot on that occasion, right? So, but the deal couldn't happen. So he stayed at Liverpool. And then we went through this season, and I said to you, I reckon we'll see it again about January time. And it did. The 6-page interview from Deco, remember, and all the stuff to do with Luis Diaz came back again. So last summer, Barcelona didn't have the 1-1 status, so they couldn't make the deal happen. It went through this season. They did get it back, but couldn't do anything about it. But then they lost it again. It's now up for review at the end of June, right? So what we understand, what I think, right, is that Luis Diaz has been told, let's get June out of the way. We'll get our 1-1 status back and we'll come for you. That's what I think is going to happen. He wants to move. His dad wants to move. Barcelona want to move, and I think Liverpool really do want to sell him, which is kind of strange because there's an article here from the main man telling you, no, they don't want to sell him. That's where propaganda creeps in every now and with these ones, right? So I think they're doing a job for Liverpool right now, and Liverpool are playing that we don't need to sell him. All right, okay. So I think so. Basically, I love it when this shit happens, mate, man, because I knew it was coming. I told you it was coming, didn't I? Right. So we're going to look at these couple of articles here. I missed the H off. Luis Diaz, the next operation, right? So that basically means the next signing, right? In Spanish football. Barcelona are optimistic about signing the Colombian forward who wants to leave Liverpool for the Camp Nou. And I believe he does, right? Waffle. The Brazilian coach has never hidden the fact that his number one target is Colombian winger Luis Diaz. That was already the case a year ago. Even though Barca ended up focusing more on Nico Williams. The boardroom was split between Nico Williams and Luis Diaz. Registration issues limited them last summer, right? To just signing Dani Olmo, blah, blah, blah. The sporting department, it's led the sporting department to focus this summer's efforts on Luis Diaz. Inside the club, there is growing optimism that the deal will go through. And while they're publishing that, Joyce is saying Liverpool don't want to sell him, right? The fee Liverpool demand will determine whether the move can happen. That's them saying, oh, we're not going to get mugged off, right? So Luis Diaz's arse will be like that now today, trust me, right? Remember, the last few weeks prior to all of this and Joyce and everything, what were they saying? Do you remember? Both of them, Sport and Mundo Deportivo, the two pro-Barcelona newspapers, saying he's going to have to force Liverpool. He's going to have to put the pressure on Liverpool to make the deal happen. Do you remember? It's all falling into play, guys. It's all falling into play. In other words, Barcelona is saying, we really want you, but we can't, even if we get 1-1 status back, we can't afford to be spending this, that and the other, right? So, the optimism... hang on. The fee Liverpool demand will determine whether the move can happen before pre-season begins or if it will require more time. The optimism comes from the fact that Diaz is open to leaving and trading the Premier League for La Liga and Liverpool for Barcelona. In fact, talks have already started with his camp and Barca are well aware of his desire to make the move. They also know that Liverpool need money. The Reds have already signed Frimpong, blah, 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 trying to complete a major deal for Florian Wirtz, blah, blah, blah. Liverpool's financial needs are a key reason why Barca believe the deal shouldn't drag on too long. They talk about Luis Diaz being with the Colombian national team. Then he'll go on holiday, all while keeping a close eye on his future and the interest from Barcelona. While Barcelona are optimistic, they've made it clear that they won't pay the 80 million euro Liverpool might ask for. This is why you're seeing this bullshit played out. Diaz doesn't have a release clause, meaning negotiations must take place directly between the clubs. Barca are also hoping that the player himself will help push the deal through in the coming weeks. Remember, you've seen all this for weeks on here, haven't you guys? We've seen it all coming out. However, they are aware, however, that Liverpool could receive a lucrative offer from Saudi Arabia for Diaz. That's another complication. With 2 years remaining on his contract, Barca feels Liverpool's demands are excessive. It's going to be a tricky one. By the sounds of it, it's now they're starting to go, because you've got to remember, I sit here and read this because I want to see what's going on, get the other right. Trust me, right? Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards, they'll know exactly what these fuckers are saying, just like we do, right? And then, just in case Barca have other options, such as Marcus Rashford, the Barcelona press keep dropping that in. You know what I mean? Like the same sort of thing with yesterday from Ornstein, was it, with the, well, Liverpool have got, Shirky if this Verts thing don't come. Do you know what I mean? Right? I'm telling you. But within the sporting department, Luis Diaz remains the top and only real objective, and I believe that. I think they're desperate for him, to be honest with you. Would you have Nico Williams or Luis Diaz? I know I'd rather. So that was the article there. Which one is it? Yeah, that one. That's posted on the members' website today. And then we're going to look at this one in sport. I'm trying to get this rattled off as quickly as possible for you. Luis Diaz, a very strong candidate. This is Mundo Deportivo. Sorry, I don't know if I told you. Not as good as sport, to be honest with you. Not as close, but still very good. The Colombian is Barca's top priority due to his pace, high pressing, and experience at 28. Barca in the market in search of a winger with dribbling ability, flair, and goal threat. And Luis Diaz is the chosen name by the club's sporting department. The winger is fully aware of Deco's interest in bringing him to Barcelona and wants to wear the Barca shirt. Already pushing to secure a move away from Liverpool while he's under contract until 2027. Then they ask questions, would he fit in? And it tells you all about how versatile he is. I don't think we know Luis Diaz is. Emotional bond with Barca. Maybe this might be interesting for you. One of the most compelling reasons Diaz fits at Barca is his deep emotional connection to the club. Something confirmed publicly by his father, Luis Manuel Diaz, in November 23, shortly after being released from his kidnapping by he needs fucking kidnapping again, doesn't he? So do you remember when he got kidnapped, we were like, oh, bless him. And he got released, and he was like, oh, Luis, I'd love to play for Barcelona. We were like, get him fucking in the bag again. Get him chucked in boots, right? He told Win Sports TV, this is his dad, Luis is a loyal Barcelona supporter, and it's his dream to play there. But for now, we're grateful to Porto and Liverpool for how they welcomed him. He's a player who earns everything through hard work, humility, and discipline. And then the closing statement in this article, his dream of playing Barca counts for a lot. So there you go. That's everything that you've got regarding Luis Diaz today. So you've got the Liverpool side, their voice, oh, he's not for sale. Oh, no, he's not for sale. And them saying, oh, he is, but we're not getting fucking ripped off. So the game's now coming in. It's starting now. You guys, you followed this from me since last summer, all right? I'm telling you, Liverpool want to sell him to Barcelona. Maybe they won't give a fuck if he went to the Saudis or Barcelona. But Liverpool know they can make the deal, right? Liverpool know that there's a deal there to be had, right? Barcelona are like, they're gonna play, you know what? You know the truth. You don't need me to tell you that. So the thing is, I thought going into this summer that Liverpool were going to focus selling Núñez and Diaz, and that was going to fund one potential purchase. That's what I thought. And then you'd have your other dribs and drabs, and then whatever money the owners are going to let us spend. Do you know what I mean? So I will be very surprised if he's at Liverpool next season. I will, despite the one journal that we all listen to telling us, well, Liverpool don't want to get rid of him. I'd be very surprised, guys, honestly. But we need to see what happens with Barcelona's financial limitations. So it's not so much that the skin, people go, oh, they've got the skin. It's the rules of how much they can spend. Fair play, basically, right? So if they wanted him now, I think it was quoted as they'd have to have 175 million in the account to spend 70. Whereas on the 1-1, it would be 70 for 70. Did you get it? All right, I'll leave it with you. I'm live on here at 1 o'clock UK today. There will no stream tomorrow, Thursday. Next stream will be Friday at 1 p.m, all being well. All right? Let me know what you think. I've tried to rush it all into one video. Yeah. All right, guys. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please thumbs up the video. Please drop me a comment. Your comments make the channel. If you want to buy me a coffee or a beer, I'm going for a beer in a minute. Well, not in a minute. 4 hours. There's a love heart under the video. Hit that. I'll give you a shout out in my my morning briefings the next morning on my other YouTube channel, Duncan Oldham. It's in the links in the video description. It'll also pop up on the screen. Right, I got to go because I'm going to talk to you about Alexis McAllister and Real Madrid now. All right, guys. Peace.